Well, thank you, Mr. Schultz. Isn't it funny? You know, when I came here 17 years ago and I said that I wanted to lead a campaign to get Britain to leave the European Union, you all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
Nigel Farage was the leader of UKIP from 2006 and 2009, and then again in 2010 through 2016. Nigel Farage has a strong sense of country pride because he hates anyone who is not British trying to move in the UK and trying to live there. He's super racist. Farage was in big support of Euroscepticism, and he hated the EU. He hated them like a lot. He would bash on them any chance he got, no matter where he was, especially if he was in front of a camera. With that being said, he was also pro-Brexit. He wanted Britain to exit out of the EU and become their own independent country. He campaigned for over 20 years for Brexit, and his slogan for his 20-year campaign was, "We want our country back," and he is probably one of the main causes that Brexit happened. With Nigel Farage as UKIP's leader, he made them the third largest party in terms of voters during the 2015 general election. And that's great because, as we recall, UKIP isn't that big of a group. With UKIP being a populist party, they would speak for the people, and Nigel Farage did this when he was campaigning for Brexit. He knew the people wanted out of the EU, and he persuaded over 17 million citizens to become pro-Brexit. Brexit was the biggest policy that UKIP has ever passed, but that isn't the only thing they have done or have tried to do. They have also tried to limit immigration and tried to cut down welfare for immigrants. Think if Trump was a political party, UKIP would be him, except for the fact that UKIP follows through with their promises and actually shows progress. They also wanted to cut the foreign aid budget. Like, they didn't want to buy exports anymore. They wanted everything to be domestic, wanted it all to be made and distributed from the UK. They didn't want to deal with anyone else ever, especially from any European country that's part of the EU. They wanted no ties with the EU in any way, shape, or form.
A false boom and a massive bust. But look at your response to them. What they're being told, as their government's collapsing, is that it would be inappropriate for them to have a general election. In fact, Commissioner Wren here said they had to agree their budget first before they'd be allowed to have a general election. Just who the hell do you think you people are? You are very, very dangerous people indeed. Your obsession with creating this Euro state means that you're happy to destroy democracy. You appear to be happy for millions and millions of people to be unemployed and to be poor.
You may be wondering why UKIP is such an important party to study, and it's important mainly and solely because of Brexit. UKIP pushed and pushed and pushed for Brexit for many years, and when Brexit finally happened, so many things changed. For example, negotiations between the UK and the EU were coming to the halt. They weren't talking anymore, and you could say they broke up. There was also new changes in the economy and new trading policies that they wanted to keep everything within their own borders. They didn't want any exports, like I said before, all domestics and no foreigners. But because of that, many companies were taking their investments out of the UK. They couldn't make money like that. So what the government has done to combat that is that are offering grants for companies to come in and build for them. For example, according to the New York Times, BMW, Ford, and Jaguar received $136 million for developing low carbon and automated vehicles for the UK. It says UK only vehicles that no one else will have probably. So in short, UK changed Britain. Some could say for the better or some could say for the worse. But without UKIP,
there wouldn't be this big of a change happening.
Ta-da!